The journey starts today. Let's go! Greetings trainers, KuroBlitz here. And today I'm bringing you another video. As you may have recalled, I did an analysis of the biggest problem with Pokemon journeys, and today I want to fix that problem. That's right folks, I want to do a rewrite of Season 1 of Pokemon journeys, going from an episodic structure to a linear one in order to benefit the story for the better with the elements that we were introduced in Season 1. However, just a little disclaimer, even though I'm going to use elements till the episode 35, the finale of Darkest Day, there will be some elements from Season 2 that is going to be incorporated, however they will not interrupt or even diminish the narrative overhaul, not to mention that I'm also going to introduce characters that will benefit the better if they are introduced in the Season 1 of Pokemon Journeys. I'm going to leave my analysis video in the link description down below, so make sure to see that, not to mention that I'm going to also explain how the formula for this rewrite, this narrative of Season 1 of Pokemon Journey is going to be structured, and it's going to be about cyclical in various segments. So allow me to explain how it works. For this structure, I'm going to have 3 episodes in Kanto, 2 in Galar, 1 episode in Johto, and then 2 in other region, being Hoenn Sinnoh, then Univakalos, then it's going to repeat itself, and then it's going to end with 2 specials in Alola before the Darkest Day. It's going to be 5 cycles of 8 episodes each to have 40 episodes before the Darkest Day, with the Darkest Day having 5 episodes because I'm going to discount the Marshtomp dual parter. Therefore, with this structure, I can make Pokemon Journeys better than it already is. Even with the episodic formula, I can have a linear storytelling, not to mention that with all of the cycles, I can have 15 episodes in Kanto, 15 in Galar, and 15 in the other 6 regions. So everyone has their own time to shine, and it doesn't make this show just be, Vermilion City overhaul. Now we also are going to have elements from Galar, so it's going to be a great balance between Kanto, Galar, and the other regions of the Pokemon world. Not to mention that, the prologue, episode 1, there's going to be 2 characters that I think are needed for the implementation of this rewrite of Pokemon Journeys. And those 2 characters are none other than Miyamoto from Team Rocket and Daisy Oak, the granddaughter of Professor Oak and the older sister of Gary. In regards to Daisy Oak, it was always my personal belief that her character was robbed since the beginning of the show, and since Go and Koharu will go to Oak's summer camp 4 years before Ash and Gary start their own journey, I think it's great because it gives, an idea. And we see a girl with a Squirtle in that episode, so maybe we can retcon that for it to be, Daisy with a Clefairy because Pokemon Pink. And I want for Daisy and Oak to be the ones to guide the kids to the summer camp. She's already, a somehow experienced trainer. She already has Clefairy and all of the Pokemon, and it will lead to the summer camp and also to the discovery of Mew, and a little nod to the manga and also of the Mew in Pallet Town, like in Pokemon Masters, the one that Hoke has, sorry. It is a great idea to implement Miyamoto, Jessie's mother, mind you, because she died before the movie 1. There was a radio drama that specifies that Jessie's mother dies while hunting Mew for Madame Boss, Giovanni's mother. So Jessie's mother worked for Giovanni's mother. She hunted for Mew, but she never was able to capture and died in the process of her quest. So since this is before movie 1, I want to incorporate the story of Miyamoto, maybe some kind of Matori Matrix unit, maybe Miyamoto Matrix or something, and incorporate her story into the narrative and the prequel, the making of the characters of Go and Koharu, and see how this would all overhaul implement, because Koharu seeing people using Pokemon for evil, it will make her have some disdain and an approach to the Pokemon to the future, which will link more into her character development in the future of Journeys. Not to mention that Go, seeing that Pokemon are being caught for the nefarious usage, he will want to capture to protect and understand them, and every time he sees Team Rocket he's not going to like it. That's why Jesse and James, they're going to have minor roles. There will be no gacha. They will have, you know, a very scarce appearance like in Black and White, because if Go sees Team Rocket, oh boy, will the boy be pissed about it. But yeah, without further ado, let's start the rewrite of Journeys Season 1. Let's go! As for the first episode of Pokemon Journeys, the story will start 4 years prior to the beginning of Ash's and Pikachu's journey. Daisy Oak with her Clefairy will start her journey, and Miyamoto will hunt down the mythical Mew, while Oak will lead Daisy and the kids to the summer camp. This is where Go and Koharu will see Mew. They will see Mew, they will encounter Miyamoto. The Rocket Grands of Miyamoto are basically imprisoning Oak and all of the other Pokemon around the area of the summer camp, including the Kangaskhan that Pichu was living with. So both humans and Pokemon are in danger, and Go will have an act of heroism, and this will all be about, you know, understanding, capturing to save. And Koharu will gain her disdain for Pokemon because they are being used for nefarious reasons, and they will have, you know, heavy ties with Team Rocket, and it's going to be very, you know, it's not going to end well in the later on future. We have the cameo of Daisy Oak as well, and also Miyamoto. And to save everyone in the forest, Pichu will jump into Ghost Shoulder and attack Team Rocket, and later on evolve into Pikachu, basically retconning the fact that what he did to Ash, he did with Go 4 years prior to the beginning of the journey. I think it's a great, you know, homage, instead of doing the thing for Maimi in the Jealousy episode, in episode 30. So yeah, this idea makes sense. It makes Pikachu evolve because of the friendship that he sees in humans and Pokemon. The Kangaskhan will have to leave to find a new home after Team Rocket basically destroyed theirs. Pikachu will stay with Oak because of the events of the original series. Go and Koharu will see Mew saving everyone after Pikachu and Go's, you know, act of heroism. And basically that's the Kickstarter of Pokemon Journeys. And Go will want to capture Mew and basically want to understand how this Pokemon understands both humans and Pokemon alike. So yeah, it sets up, you know, all of the prerequisites for Pokemon Journeys. And when Pikachu goes to Vermilion and he meets Go and Koharu, he will recognize the kids, but of course the kids will not recognize him, and there will be a great chemistry between the Electric Mouse and of course the Vermilion kids. Episode 2 will start with Ash, Oak, and Delia and Maimi. They will see and visit the newly founded laboratory, you know, the Sakuragi Institute in Vermilion City. And as soon as Ash arrives, his natural magnetism will lure Lugia into the local harbor. I want to specify that Go is having, you know, the psychic readings on that building. He's tried to locate Mew, but he locates Lugia instead because Ash lures Lugia into Vermilion City, and after all of their adventures, and they explain, you know, Ash's natural magnetism and abnormalities. Basically, I want for Oak to tell Professor Sakuragi that Ash met various professors, he saw tons of Pokemon, tons of Legendary. If you want to learn everything about Pokemon, you need to have Ash in your laboratory to, you know, expand your research. And Ash wanting to see more of the world again, he will be there. But of course that the dynamic between Ash and Go, it's going to be slightly different, but for the better, because Go will be the one to, you know, have to write the reports, but he will have to be Ash's translator, and all the whoosh and zash, Go will have to, you know, academically write that down. But of course it's going to be wholesome moments between the duo, and Ash telling Go how things are and Go trying to translate. It will make their dynamic feel more organic and even within the narrative of Pokemon Journeys. The brawn of Ash with the brains of Go. Starting off with episode 3, and this is the big change. Since Go didn't choose the starter because he wants Mew, again he's continued to be that elitist mindset. Professor Sakuragi basically tells the kid, if you want to capture Mew and understand all of the Pokemon and therefore all humans and all life, you need to see where life began. So with that, they will have to go to the daycare center of Route 5 in south of Cerulean City to study Pokemon X. And Ash and Go, they will see, Pokemon eggs and babies hatching, and Ash will want to help, and it basically Go will say the thing that he said to the Ivysaur Tower. You cannot help them, you have to let them thrive on their own, they don't need your help, they can... Basically what Go said to Ash in that moment in the Ivysaur episode, Go was talking about himself more, like he doesn't need help, he can do it their own way. If you ease out the way to the progress, it will be a pointless effort. However, this is Ash we're talking about, so he will try to help the baby Pokemon of the Daycare Center anyways, and he will see an egg from Sinnoh, and because of Ash's aura, the egg will hatch into a Riolu. And this is the episode, the internet-breaking capture. It will not be Dragonite in episode 10, it will be Riolu in episode 3. Riolu, it's a male, it's a baby boy, he's very stubborn, he's a very prankster, linking to the ability. So he seeks Ash's attention and validation the most because he sees Ash as a father, and the whole character arc of Riolu is going to be coming in terms of Riolu wanting to not accepting others' love because he already has but he doesn't recognize. It's about Riolu basically wanting to understand that he can be his own person, his own Pokemon. He doesn't need approval or validation, because if you cannot love yourself, how can others love you back? Even though others love you back, you need to love yourself first so that true friendship can be acquired. And there's going to be tons of struggles during the journey of Riolu so that he can understand himself, unlock true friendship, and therefore become a Lucario in the end of Season 1. But before that, we can go to episode 4, and this is going to be Go remembering all of the thriving Pokemon, the fauna and flora of the summer camp of Professor Oak, and therefore he wants to see where Mew can be in the world because of this natural fauna and flora, and he locates the wild area of Galar, and he wants to go to the wild area of Galar, and they will go like in the same episode, but with a little twist. And that twist is, instead of them going to Winden, they will go to Motostoke. Instead of capturing the train from Winden to the wild area, they will go to Motostoke and just basically climb down the stairs to the actual wild area. In Motostoke, they will see again the trio of Wild Nickit and, the guy from the local cafe, from the scones. He will tell them the story about, the muddy Scorbunny that the locals like to call Scorbunny the Scoundrel. People do not know where this Scorbunny comes from, but because it's in Motostoke and it's basically, the fire gym because of Kabu, people will most likely believe that maybe it was a trainer, maybe it's a Pokemon from the gym that exited, and people basically accepted the idea that Scorbunny is living in the streets of Motostoke, helping the Nickit, helping them thrive, basically securing Nickit and himself for the better, for prosperity and therefore to live. But Scorbunny is very reclusive of this mindset of just living in Motostoke, and that enables Scorbunny from reaching his true potential. Like in the promotional trailer for Sword and Shield, we do see Scorbunny basically running around the clockwork, and the flames on his feet basically activate, and Go will realize that this Scorbunny can produce flames by running. So Go will realize this from the very start, and because of the Pokédex, he will realize that this Scorbunny, unlike many other fire-type starters, he doesn't have the Blaze ability, but he has the Libero ability. And the Libero ability allows for Scorbunny to become the type of the move he uses, so therefore Scorbunny by default it's a fire-type, but he's not a fire-type at all the times. That's why his flames are weaker than a usual Scorbunny, and this will intrigue Go, but then they will have to go to the wild area in episode 5, the later episode. But the Nickit, they realize that Go is a great human, he saw potential in Scorbunny, and the Nickit want the best for Scorbunny, how Scorbunny wanted the best for them. So therefore the episode follows like the original. Scorbunny goes to the wild area, they learn about the Dynamax phenomenon, they stop the Snorlax, and after all of this, conundrum, Go will capture Scorbunny as his first Pokemon, basically a Pokemon that has all of the types in one. Continuing on with episode 6, and this is the big change, instead of being, the random Route 11 green Apricorn Orchard or the Vermilion Forest or whatever, no. Renji is the one that's going to tell Go to go to the bug catching contest in Johto's National Park, and it's going to be on a Saturday, so Koharu can go and watch Go capture all of these bug Pokemon. And basically Reg will be the one to say you are a trainer, you'll need to learn about type matchups, and maybe Scorbunny can have like, a little rough housing with the Emperor Pikachu, maybe even the starters of the actual Cerise laboratory. I want for the Kanto starters to have like more a role, and for more trainers to actually show up and pick the starters from here on out. But yeah, in type matchups, Go will realize Fire defeats Bug, Bug defeats Psychic, Mew is Psychic, so I need Scorbunny to capture some Bug Pokemon for me. And therefore Ash, Go, and Koharu will go to Johto, and Go's first capture Pokemon is going to be none other than his female Pinsir, and later on afterwards he will capture Parasect, Venomoth, and then the prize winner Scyther. So therefore, in 6 episodes, Go has 5 Pokemon. I don't want for Go to just, basically capture the living decks, because realistically that doesn't make sense. I want for Go's goal of capturing Mew, reaching the dream of I need a team that it's basically strong enough or basically worth training to achieve that goal. Don't forget that Go is not a perfect character, he still has the elitist mindset around him. So, not capturing all of the bugs, but some, it will lead to more interesting dynamics. And Go being, the winner of the catching contest, of the bug catching contest on Johto's National Park, it will give Go a Sunstone as a prize. And in episode 7 they will actually go to Hoenn, because Ash saw Go capture, so now Ash wants to teach Go how to battle, so they go to the Battle Frontiers Flute Cup so that Ash can basically teach Go the same, and also for his Riolu to learn the basics of Pokemon battle as well. But Riolu is very stubborn, he wants to battle, but Ash wants the best for Riolu, because Riolu is a baby. Ash doesn't want to endanger Riolu's life, because this is a champion Ash. Champion Ash should know that baby Pokemon should not fight. He saw Phanpy, Scraggy, and Noibat. Basically, Pokemon might be born to battle, but sometimes with Riolu, because of the aura, Ash realized that maybe it's not the best to do it now, and that will, of course, leave a mark on Riolu. But it's for the best of Riolu, even if Riolu doesn't realize it. And before the tournament, the Flute Cup tournament starts, Go will actually go to the Artisan Cave of the Battle Frontier Island and capture a Smeargle that later on will sketch some moves. And then he will meet Hoji, who's trying to capture Smeargle as well with his Ariyama. And because, Hoji has Ariyama and Mightyena, Riolu will want to battle because it's a fighting type, and then it's a dog and he's a fighting dog, but Ash will not allow it. Go will lose to Hoji, and he will use Mr. Mime and Pikachu to defeat Hoji, but Riolu will not like that one bit, Anyways, leading up to episode 8, after going from Hoenn, then they will go to Sinnoh, and in Sinnoh they will go to the ice race, but not because the people have swam from Snow Point to Vermilion. No. What they'll go to do the ice race is that because there's a competition and they want to basically explore the world and see all the environments, and they will go there because they want to participate in the competition, in the ice drift race. And Go will capture a Mantike, and Ash will enter with Pikachu, even though people will say it's unorthodox, but Ash will do it anyways. And they will later on realize that the whole race was a scheme orchestrated by Butch and Cassidy to have all of the Pokemon from Snow Point basically snagged from them. And we will see Ace-Q. One of them will have an Ace-Q. There's your Galar plug. Basically Ace-Q floating, and when Pokemon are on a course, Ace-Q basically moving along to drift away the course of the ice race, and the Pokemon will be snagged. Team Rocket will be here, but not Jesse and James. It'll be Butch and Cassidy because they need their time to shine. And with Delibird, the other Ice Penguin, we will have the Gacha machine, but not in the capacity or even... it will not be the Gacha machine. It will just be Delibird with the bag landing Pokemon, and Go seeing Team Rocket doing this. He will not like it one bit. Yo, you stole my Mantike, you stole Pikachu, no. And Scorbunny will help, melt the ice, defeat them, and Riolu will want to help as well. So basically this will start, you know, the friendly rivalry of Scorbunny and Riolu, because they want to prove to each other, to themselves, and to their trainers their worthiness in battle. So yeah guys, this ends segment 1 of Pokemon Journeys. And now let's start off with segment 2, episode 9, back to Kanto. Ash is now training Riolu after the incident in Snow Point, and Go will learn from Kikuna about the Dragonite Island, and they will want to go there. Go will capture the iconic Dugong, the duo will reach Dragonite Island. Ash will help a Dragonair to fly by using, you know, Dragon Dance, and because Team Rocket is not here, they will not, you know, basically discover why they gain limbs upon evolving, but Ash will still continue to have the idea in his head, even though he doesn't specifically say it or it's even demonstrated. Because Jesse and James not being here with the gacha, it means that Dragonair will not have the need to evolve, so therefore Ash will capture Dragonair. Pikachu will be very happy about it. Riolu will have a little bit of a jealousy because it's a new member, more powerful than him, mind you. And the thing about Dragonair, I want for Ash to have Dragonair for a while still in Journey, not just have the Dragonite, but still have it as a Dragonair. Because Journeys focuses a lot on Pokédex entries, and the Pokédex entry of Dragonair is that Dragonair uses their aura to manipulate the weather. Ash, being an aura user, it makes more sense that Ash will use his aura in a more versatile and different way, and to manipulate the weather, you know, the sunlight, storms, Ho-Ho, Lugia, and then Dragonair against the flying type, you know, the type of the birds. It makes sense. It really makes sense that Ash, you know, gets Dragonair, and everything comes into play. And then episode 10, basically, there will be very paranormal activities occurring all over the Sakuragi Institute. It's basically episode 11, but a little earlier. Koharu will go to school after a tough day. She will talk to her mother. They will talk about her not having a goal or what it will be, and that is the thing about the character of Koharu. Koharu will have a more predominant role here in Season 1 of Journeys, but she will not still be, you know, a main character yet, but she will be, you know, kind of a co-protagonist like Ash is with Go. Because the thing about Koharu is that it's an adventure of soul-searching and self-discovery. Like I said before, she doesn't need a goal yet. Her goal will most likely be discovered in the end of the actual series. Therefore, the episode starts and ends the same like in the original, kinda. However, I want for Yamper to protect Koharu with a spark attack, but they don't see the actual Gengar. They just see, you know, this ghost. Like, you know, from Lavender Town before you use the Silph Scope, they just see this figure. And later on discover that this figure is actually a haunter. For episode 11, I want for them to realize, because Professor Sakuragi tells them that he heard tales about this haunter being basically haunting around the laboratory before he bought the laboratory, you know. There will be no abandoned plot. He's just a haunter that wanted to play, being a mischievous ghost, but because people got scared, he basically grew a little bit evil and accumulated enough ghost energy to become the manga's version of the anime version of the Electric Tail of Pikachu manga, the Black Fog. So yeah, this is basically a big and nefarious haunter, and ghost parents will have to go to the institute to repair the institute system, so we'll have ghost parents in this episode, and Scorbunny and everyone in the park, they will have to protect, you know, the adults while they are doing their job from Hunter's mischievousness, and because of this, Ash will be the one to capture this Haunter, but because of everything the Haunter's been doing around the laboratory, we do know that this Haunter did something to orphan Cubone, even without him wanting to. Maybe the poison leaked and Marowak basically died, and Ash will have to capture Haunter more as a contingency plan. And Go will have to, you know, adopt Cubone, and Cubone will have like a more predominant role, and the whole story is that Go will have to teach Cubone how to accept grief, and Ash will have to teach Haunter how to share pain and basically open up to other humans and Pokemon alike. Now, with all of this Kanto stuff, let's go to Galar once again. And this is the time where Ash and Go will receive tickets to see the final of the Pokemon World Championships in Winden City. It will be basically the same. Instead of being, the final 1v1 between the Shiny Gyarados of Lance and the G-Max Charizard of Leon, we see snippets of a 5v5 between their other Pokemon, like how Red battles Green in Origins, even though we only see the actual final battle in its full glory. But I want for them to basically show all of the other Pokemon, because the finals being shown a 1v1, but we have to see the entire roster of the 6v6. And basically the fifth Pokemon that Lance uses before the Shiny Gyarados is actually his iconic Dragonite, and Ash's Dragonair will see this, and Riolu seeing the final of the World Championship, basically it sets up the power ceiling for Riolu and Ash from the very start, and Leon wins. And the Chairman Rose will be impressed of Leon's skills. Yeah, Chairman Rose will be in the sidelines already in this episode, and basically already plotting, the darkest day for the season's finale. And episode 13, it will be, Jesse and James. They will basically cause the Gigantamax Dreadnought as always. But Jesse and James are here to basically scout power for Giovanni, because this is the World Championship, this is where the strongest trainers are, so therefore this is where the strongest Pokemon are. So they are basically, doing a red card team for Giovanni to see, the power of the trainers in the Pokemon World Championships. But yeah, Gigantamax Dreadnought, of course. James later on, captures the Chuto that we all know and love. Yeah, Chuto biting James's hand, Yeah, Chuto will be James, because, later on in the future I'll explain. But yeah, and then Dreadnought, happens, and Riolu wants to battle Dreadnought again to prove his worth to Ash and to himself. Basically, he's a baby that he wants attention, he wants to show his power. But then Pikachu steals the actual spotlight by accidentally Gigantamaxing, and then Ash and and then everything is okay, Dreadnought is okay, Ash and Leon have a friendly match. Go and Rose will see this in the sidelines, and of course that Riolu will be jealous of Pikachu because he can Gigantamax, and it's basically stealing the attention from his papa. Anyways, moving on to episode 14. It's a Johto episode, so Ash and Go will want to go to a fishing competition in the Lake of Rage. And this is because Go saw the Shiny Gyarados of Lance, and the Lance will of course, be the ones to tell them, I caught him in the Lake of Rage, if you want some maybe you can get him, but this Shiny Gyarados was basically regained the color of a Magikarp, so it's a false shiny. However, I've seen some shiny Magikarp in the Lake of Rage. There is one that is called the Lord of the Lake. So yeah, Ash and Go will go to the Lake of Rage, and Go will capture the Lord, and the Lord is basically this giant shiny Magikarp. And of course that Go will also capture other two Pokemon, being, a Goldeen and two Remoraid. And one of the Remoraid will later on be used to evolve Mantike into Mantine, and one of the Remoraids already evolves into Octillery in this episode, because Matori Matrix will go to the Lake of Rage. They want to capture all the Pokemon in the Lake of Rage, but then they are stopped by a roaming Suicune. Suicune will show up in episode 14 to stop Matori Matrix. He will look at Ash and Go, see how far they are going in their goals, and basically Suicune will go away, and everything, basically everyone is protected. Go bonded with the Pokemon. He's stopped a unit of Team Rocket for now, but it basically focuses more on the aspect that Go's altruism and heroic duties to protect and save Pokemon in his own way is luring the attentions of legendaries, and of course with Ash's abnormality and natural magnetism for those said legendaries, because Suicune is a legendary beast, a child of Owo. It's basically Owo having an eye on Ash as well in this amazing adventure and journey around the world. Now, for episode 15, the other region will be Unova, and Ash and Go will take Riolu and Scorbunny to the desert resort in Unova. They will go to the ruins of the giant, to the relic castle. They will want to train their Pokemon, and after some harsh training in the heat, they will go to the relic castle, and they are going to have, the raid with the giant Galar that is basically, you know, protecting the Volcarona. They will see the Volcarona, unlike the original. They will see the actual Volcarona, but it's being protected by a giant Galar. And this Galar is basically stated to be from the Dragon Spiral Tower. Originally, I want that, you know, continuity and connectivity within the Unival lore. And the Go will basically also capture the Darmanitan, being this Darmanitan, you know, the Guardian, the Zen mode has psychic types, so it will help Go to study Mew more into the future. And episode 16, it will be Go wanting to enter with his Squovet that he caught in the original episode 13 as well. He caught in this rewrite as well, so he will want for Squovet to enter in an eating competition in Aqua Court Town in Kalos. In X and Y, we never saw Aqua Court Town. So Go and Squovet will want to enter in this eating competition, basically Kalos in cuisine. Everyone in the lab will fly to Kalos to see Go and Squovet compete. They will see, you know, this figure with the Blaziken, and Ash will recall it's Kaiser Blaziken, you know, the one that basically refused to eat the Torchic Manju. So yeah, and Ash will recall, oh yeah, there's this guy with the Blaziken in Lumio City as well, and a Vigilante and whatever. So, and this will worry Koharu a little, because Go is basically having this acts of heroism, and she doesn't want for Go to be in danger while traveling the world with Ash. She will, you know, be a little resilient in regards to this capacity. But yeah, while they are talking in the benches, Go and Squovet are entering the competition, and Squovet wins and evolves into a Greedent already in episode 16. So this is how the segment 2 of season 1 of Pokemon Journeys turns to an end. Now, continuing on with segment 3, we return to Kanto, and in this segment we do have episode 17, and Go is tasked to capture 5 Meowth in Vermilion City to get his own Arcanine. Basically, like in Let's Go Eevee, there is a dog lady where you capture 5 Meowth in the exchange for an Arcanine. Let's Go Pikachu, you capture 5 Growlithe in exchange for a Persian. And I want for this episode to basically be that, but all the Meowth are being, you know, talked to with Team Rocket's Meowth, basically planning something, basically robbing the cities and the banks and the fan clubs of Vermilion. Go helping out Officer Jenny and battling these Rocket grunts in the city, even Jesse and James, because Go hates Team Rocket because of what Miyamoto did in the summer camp, don't forget about that. And after several battles and several captures, Go will get the Arcanine. Basically, instead of, you know, being the Arcanine from the old lady, one of the Jenny's Growlithe will become an Arcanine and join Go's path. And because, you know, also of Darmanitan and also of Scorbunny, he will have a trio of fire types. And because Scorbunny, using his flames, his unique flames in his own unique way, he will stop basically the robbery and all the Team Rocket shenanigans. He will become a reboot in episode 17. However, this reboot, instead of being neglected or rebellious, because reboot didn't change his personality upon evolution. That's one thing that people need to understand. Just because you're having a bad day with some people doesn't mean that your personality changed. People need to understand that. But reboot, because of the evolution and because it's not the only fire type or even the strongest as of now, he will become a little somehow emotionally distant, like in the Pokédex entry states. However, Reboot will continue to appreciate Go, want to be more on Go's side now more than ever, because Go is learning Reboot's wants and needs, and also learning all of his Pokemon's wants and needs, instead of, you know, just wanting to capture, learning how to battle. And going into the battle department, the episode after episode 18, it's where Ash has his first Pokemon World Championship battle against Viscous in Vermilion Gym. There will continue to be the continuity with Surge. However, instead of Ash using Gengar, because he doesn't have Gengar, he has the Black Fog Hunter, and because he's disobedient yet, and the Riolu is still a baby, and he needs to learn the basics before actually, you know, being in a legitimate fight, and Ash will not use Riolu in his first PWC match because he needs to rank up high right on the spot. Riolu We'll see the battle with Go and Reboot on the sidelines, learning more about how battle can be unpredictable, and Ash will use Pikachu and Dragonair. So yeah, and because of Dragonair's basically all sluggish, Raichu and Electrode's moves, they will not be as effective, they will, basically slip around, and yeah, Ash will win the same way he did. And because of that, Go and everyone will want to learn more about battle Pokemon and being as well more motivated. Riolu for Ash and Reboot for Go, and this leads to the episode after episode 19, still in Kanto, because of all of the electrical surges from that gym battle. A wild Zapdos is seen soaring around the skies of Vermilion, and Reboot wants to follow this Zapdos to battle the birds, while Go just wants to analyze the situation and see what Zapdos is doing and how electric power can lure Zapdos in. Basically, in the future, wanting for Go to basically capture one type of each Pokemon in order for him to, lure legendaries because of the Mew's natural magnetism that basically still has some remnants of, but because of Ash's legendary abnormality as well, because of aura and everything else. Reboot is still emotionally distant, but he wants to, see Zapdos. They will go to the power plant, and they don't have Flygon, but Reboot will still learn Blaze Kick to, reach Zapdos, but Go will not want to capture Zapdos. He just wants to become one more with Reboot, because Reboot wants to battle, Reboot wants to show Go that he wants to battle, and they will settle their differences, even if minimal, aside, by battling Zapdos, because Reboot wants to show Go what he's worth, and instead of using words like a Pokemon, he will be using actions. So yeah, the Reboot Rebellion, it doesn't happen. However, the emotional distant thing, it still continues into some capacity. And now we go back to Galar in episode 20, where the boys visit Motostoke City once again. And this is because we see the introduction of all of the gym leaders like in the game. We see the introduction, and after all of that introduction, they will meet up with Sonia in the Budew Inn, and she will tell them about the story of the Darkest Day lore and of the hero statue. So yeah, they will basically meet Sonia and they will learn about all of this earlier on. And the episode ends with, Team Rocket appearing and Jessie capturing a local Silicobra, and therefore Jessie has a snake Pokemon and a ground type that it's immune to Pikachu, and Go will want to stop them, and the episode fades to black with Silicobra being smacked by an invisible Pokemon. And that leads to episode 21, where we see Sobble protecting the boys and using basically his tears to scare off everyone, attacking Silicobra. Team Rocket is no more, and Go sees Sobble's potential, but he's very brave, but he's very shy, he's very aware of his surroundings, and Sobble, after seeing these bad people basically harming good people, even though he's brave, he will run away, and Go just doesn't want to capture Sobble at principle. There is no capture involved. But he will battle Silicobra, mind you. Go just wants to greet and be thankful to Sobble for his heroism, and so does Reboot to some capacity. And while they are chasing Sobble, or trying to because he's invisible, they will reunite with the Nickit. And the Nickit will see Reboot, they will be very happy about it, and they will help Reboot around the city of Motostoke to try to see where Sobble is, because they just want to basically appreciate Sobble for what he did. But Sobble being invisible and basically being scared of also the good humans, basically a great misunderstanding episode. We see Sobble in a fountain, and he will be shocked. He will eat the food of a wild Morpeko, and that is basically the Morpeko that we know. And Morpeko, stolen from food, being electric type, going on angry mode, he will scare Sobble, and basically the Nickit will have to battle Morpeko. Morpeko is no more. Reboot will give Morpeko the reality check that he needs, because Sobble did nothing wrong, and Go and Reboot are happy that the Nickit are thriving, but basically Morpeko stealing every food. Even with that, the Nicked are thriving, and Sobel, seeing Go's heroism once again, Sobel will want to join Go's team, therefore Go will have his second Galar starter. Of course, this all leads to episode 22, and it's the Johto episode where Go will spend time with his family once again, where we will see in Azalea Town, and he will recall the memories of Tokyo. In this episode, Go will only capture a Pineco. He will see the Ilex Forest Celebi Shrine, he will read the message, and basically the episode is basically the same, and Go reunites with Tokyo once again. They are now friends, they settle their differences aside, and because the thing about the character of Tokyo, and this is because the episode prior, Go never got a chance to basically say goodbye to Tokyo after the good things he did for him, even if little, even if short. So seeing Sobel doing this and then running away, it reminded Go a little bit of Tokyo. Then again, journeys being an episodic structure and not in a linear format, it feels like a disjointed puzzle, so I'm basically just trying to puzzle everything in the right place, you know? But yeah, Go will re-meet Tokyo, and everything is nice and easy, segueing into episode 23, and this is, you know, the other Hoenn episode. This is where Ash and Go will want to be in Mauville City, to be in the Battle Restaurant, and this is basically a restaurant that they heard from Ash's old friend Tyson, because he's from Mauville City, he won the Hoenn League back in the day, and he's a restaurant fanatic. They will not meet Tyson, but Ash will just recall the fact that Tyson is a character. Because Ash lost to the guy that actually won the tournament, right? So they will go to the city. The city, it's basically on a massive sandstorm, and Cubone with the ground type will try to clear the sandstorm, doing some kind of terraforming geomancy, because I want for Cubone to have time to shine here as well. And Go will be the one to capture the Flygon. That is the thing that it will not change. However, the thing that will change is that because of all of the Trapinch and Vibrava, Ash and Haunter will be the ones to settle their differences, basically to use the power of the black fog to eradicate the local sandstorm of Mauville. So yeah, Go gets the capture, and Ash gets more connected to his new caught Haunter. And basically I want to emphasize that Ash caught this Pokemon out of more of a contingency plan, like he did in the Electric Tail of Pikachu manga. But that's the thing, Ash doesn't feel as connected to this Haunter like he did with the original one, and that's basically the thing that it's settling Ash a little bit of apart. Yeah, and also Ash has to focus now on Riolu and Dragonair more. Speaking of such, Sinnoh, episode 24, instead of going to the resort area, they will go to the survival area to train in the local battleground. However, that's not going to happen because Team Rocket will still be there, Matori Matrix will still be there, and they will cause, you know, some havoc in Stark Mountain, and with the Lava Stone they will summon a wild Heatran. And Go, having Arcanine, Darmanitan and Reboot, he will be the one to have to stop the calamity of Heatran. He will try to capture Heatran, it's basically the Zapdos scenario but with Heatran. However, that will not happen, and Go will have to use, you know, how Buck used Psychic Power of Claydol to jump around boulders. He will do that with Darmanitan and the Psychic Power of Zen Mode, and Arcanine running around and Rebook kicking the boulders. Go will have an act of heroism here in Sinnoh, and Ash will be in awe. Koharu will learn about this, but yeah, Go basically seals Heatran away once again. He will have his moment to shine. However, the way that he's doing it, it's great for him. Ash is loving. However, his peers in the laboratory think, oh, the kid is in danger. Koharu's parents, the assistants, Professor Sakuragi, you need to step your game a little bit down, kid. You're just starting your journey. And this ends segment 3. Now starting off segment 4, the lab staff will give Sota, Koharu's little brother, and all of his classmates a Pokemon re-entering section, and in this episode Go will capture, besides the iconic Farfetch in the end, he will capture an Oddish that later on will become a Gloom, Poliwag, and also the 2 Nidoran. And Ash, after basically Haunter being obedient to him, he and Haunter will battle Oliver and his Meganium, and also other Pokemon he will have. The group will reunite with Lugia, and the episode will be more about, Go and Koharu helping out Sota, and not the random girl. It will actually, be Nami, the girl for the Milotic episode that it will happen in the future. But yeah, Go capturing Pokemon, understanding them, saving them from Team Rocket and everything else. But Koharu wants to show signs that she's worried about him, because being around the world it's dangerous. That's why she's a bit hesitant in starting her own journey with Yamper. But Go wants, it's basically, it's childhood friend basically being worried about your safety, and with everything that you are doing, because you are being mentored by Champion Ash, so you're basically on the same shoes as he is. It's, a little bit difficult, but yeah, the orienting section continues, everything is fine. They will receive Lugia, Ash and Go will reignite and basically re-establish their goals once again. The episode after, 26, Gloom basically tells Go that they are ready to, because Oddish trained with the Nidoran became Gloom, and because of the Sunstone that Go got in the National Park in the bug catching contest, Go will get a Blossom in the beginning of this episode. So yeah, but this episode is not about Go having a Blossom, it's about the whole Pidove situation and the Sakuragi family basically taking care of Pidove, learning more about Yamper's backstory, and basically I want for this to be, the catalyst for Yamper and Riolu, basically the dogs, the dogs training with each other a little more. And after the Fearow situation, Go captures the Fearow because didn't caught the Spearow in the Viscous episode in this rewrite. So Pidove returns to the trainer, everyone will learn more about how trainers can influence Pokemon and learning about how Yamper is with Koharu. Riolu will want that more with Ash, but that will be about his all character premise. The episode after will continue to focus more about Koharu. This is basically the Kanto segment for Koharu, where after the Yamper thing with Pidove and the orienting session and Go basically telling her to not worry about it, she will start to warm up with Pokemon once again, and she will help Nami with her Phoebus, and they will go to the Water Friendship competition. Team Rocket will be there. Go, once again, being pissed off that Team Rocket is there. So basically, yeah, Go will have to protect Koharu, protect Nami. Nami will get the Milotic with the Prism Scale. Everything basically ends the same way. Koharu, it's more fascinated for Go than she actually is for Pokemon, because once again I ship the two. They are a more shipping than right. Childhood friends who actually stood together. So Go going on the journey and basically showing the Ash signs, but more on his analytical knowledge instead of Ash's empirical experience. It will make Koharu warm up to Pokemon even more, because Go sees Pokemon again because of the thing Tokyo did to him, without wanting to, of course. Go sees Pokemon more, he saw Pokemon more as friends, that if I capture you, my friends, you won't abandon. And with Koharu, that's the one thing that he never did, because he was already friends with Koharu before getting Pokemon and before meeting Mew. In fact, Koharu inviting him to the summer camp, being his friend a priori, it's the one thing that made him meet Mew, Pikachu evolve. Basically, Koharu, it's the character that started Pokemon franchise and Pokemon Journeys, the anime, before the anime even actually started. So I want for her to have, the big role, and basically not being the half protagonist that she is. She will become more of a character as time goes on. And with time going on, episode 28, back to Galar once again. Ash and Go will revisit Winden City. So they go Motostoke Winden, and they will see Leon battling Raihan, and after the battle, they will see the Galarian Farfetch on the bridge, and Riolu will actually be the one to battle Farfetch. Like in the original, Prankster will be activated for double team to have priority, and after an intense battle, Farfetch will showcase all of his moveset, and Ash will capture Farfetch, much to Riol's dismay because Riol defeated, and Ash was cheering for Farfetch, so Riol doesn't understand this. Again, Riol is a baby, he wants the attention all for himself, and Farfetch is a fighting type that doesn't know fighting type moves, where Riol basically knows everything fighting type moves besides the double team for priority of Prankster. So in Riolu's eyes, Farfetch is an imposter, it's a fake fighting type, so he shouldn't even be in Ash's team or even in his own basically battalion for that capacity. And while still in Winden, I want for Ash to battle Gemba, you know, the guy with the girder, and Gemba revealing to Ash that he works for the Macrocosmos mines, and they will battle in the mines, not in the rock tunnel, they will just battle in the mines, and Rose will basically see the potential of Farfetch as well, and Go will end up capturing, you know, a Galarian Meowth, because I want for Go to have a Galarian Meowth, and Galarian Meowth interacting with Team Rocket. It will be amazing, because cat shenanigans, and every time Team Rocket happens, a Galarian Meowth with Go will be very peaceful, and with Team Rocket, basically, you know, it's a cat. It will go from 8 to 80. With Team Rocket, that Galarian Meowth is going to wreck Team Rocket. But this is the episode of Farfetch and Girder, and, you know, Gemba will battle Farfetch, and Farfetch, you know, Rose sees this in the sidelines, but then he leaves, and then Rinto shows up, and he sees the battle, and Farfetch wins, gets the critical hit by breaking the steel beam. Riolu is just, you know, in distraught, but after seeing Rinto with the Gallade, basically Riolu will basically be happy that, yeah, this dude is not going as far as he might have seemed. He sees potential in Rinto, of course, as well, and maybe Rinto is battling for the World Championships as well, maybe not. If he is, I like the idea that he's number 9, he's the one that makes sure that the Masters 8 stay in the intact power in some capacity. But yeah, basically setting up the character of Rinto in episode 29 instead of episode 51. Now, returning to Johto in episode 30. I want for Ash and Go to basically go to Johto just to learn more about why Farfetch have the regional variants. And there's some folklore books about the fact that in Kanto and Johto, Farfetch were hunt to extinction because people praised Ho-Ho by basically serving Farfetch basically in plates, basically, you know, how it's basically a gift to the gods, and that's why Farfetch in Kanto and Johto are rare, and that's why the fighting spirit in the other regions that do not praise Ho-Ho like Galar, that's where they thrived, and that's where they gained the fighting type. And yeah, basically Ash learning about this from a book that Go is reading. Ash will want to go to Ecruteak to have a chance to try to see Ho-Ho once again, telling about the story of Ho-Ho. There will be no little kid, there will be no old man, no, just Ash wanting to Ecruteak to try to see Ho-Ho once again, because everything that Go is reading, Ash wants to experience again. Brain and Brawn helping each other out. And they will go to Ecruteak. Go will continue to capture the Sandrat, the Mischievous, and the Stantler. They will learn more about the Johto birds. There will be no Morty and no Eugene here, but I want for this episode to just be more Ash and Go focused than anything else. And after ringing the bell, they will see Ho-Ho in the top, like how they saw Lugia, but they will not ride on the Ho-Ho's back. However, Owo will bestow upon Ash a Rainbow Wing. So yeah, that's how episode 30 starts. Already a better episode than the original 9th. Continuing on with the other regions, episode 31, it will be Go wanting to go to the Pokestar Studios in Unova because he's seeing basically everyone having movies, and there's the Intellion movie. So Sobol wants to go as well to meet the Intellion from season 2 now, and basically working around Intellion in the movie set, he will learn, you know, U-turn as well. However, because of all of the episodes and movies in Pokestar Studios, Go will end up capturing Zorua, because Zorua, it's a Pokemon that fits Go. It just makes sense that Zorua just fits Go, and it's his first Dark type to get the immunity against Mew, you know. And I want for this episode to, besides, you know, have go to the PokeStar Studios, capture a Zorua, a Sobble meeting, you know, that Inteleon, and learning U-turn because of that. I want for this episode to showcase Sabrina and Bryson in the movie set. Ash will see Sabrina, they will train their hunters with each other, and therefore they will both get a Gengar. Go will learn more about psychic types thanks to Sabrina, and Ash will, you know, re-meet Bryson once again, and it's just going to be amazing, you know. Maybe have a world championship battle either against Sabrina or Bryson. But yeah, I want for both Ash and Go to get something from this episode while they are in Unova for the second time in Journeys. Episode 32, it's in Kalos, and this is the episode where the Shalor battle tournament for the World Championship is taking place. Don't forget that Ash is still in the normal class, and this is the tournament that will make him reach the super class like in the original, but it's in episode 32 and not in episode 25. Go, besides, he will not capture all of the 5 Pokemon, he will just capture the Scatterbug, and instead of the Fly Flabébé he will capture a Swirlix, but he will only capture a Swirlix in the end of the episode. You see Swirlix flying around, he will capture Swirlix, being his first fairy type in the region that fairy types are introduced. And Swirlix, it's basically, you know, a cotton candy dog. He will be a sweet puppy like Yamper is. But while Ash is battling in the tournament, Go is helping Scatterbug to evolve into a Spupa, and he wants to see what Vivillon pattern he will get. He will meet Gherkin, everything will continue to happen, and Go will get the Pokeball pattern Vivillon while Gherkin is helping him out with Lucario, battling the local Pokemon like the Binacle, the Phantom, the Fletchling, etc, etc. And Ash, of course, in this episode, he will meet Korrina once again, and the Riolu will basically, you know, sing Lucario, of course, that he will be hyped as ever. The episode will basically continue the same, however, Gengar and Ninchao, they will have a tie, and the battle will be Dragonair against Lucario, and after all the damage that Lucario gives to Dragonair, Dragonair will evolve. Because Dragonair becomes a Dragonite, Korrina will have to pull off her trump card with Mega Lucario, and Mega Lucario gives Korrina the win, and Korrina is the one that goes into the super class instead of Ash. Therefore, Ash doesn't go to the super class yet, however, he gains a Pokemon out of this. So he gets Dragonite by battling Korrina, and everyone is fine, and Ash will make sure to reach the super class to have the privilege to battle Korrina once again. And this is how segment 4 of Pokemon Journeys ends. Now, going on with the final segment, segment 5, episode 33, they will go back to Kanto, and after seeing all of the bond that Ash has with his Pokemon, especially Pikachu, and Pikachu basically, you know, recalling Go, but Go still doesn't recall Pikachu. Go will remember the Pichu from the summer campaign. Well, he wants a Pikachu as well. And this will lead to Ash's Pikachu following an outbreak of his fellow comrades, and basically they will want for Pikachu to evolve, but Pikachu will refuse, so instead the leader of the Pikachu, the female one with the Pecha berries, she will give Pikachu, you know, a light ball, and basically powering up Pikachu, and Jessie, James, and Meowth will appear again as well, with Silicobra, Wobbuffet, and also Chewtle and Meowth. Of course, that Go will want to save the Pikachu from Team Rocket, like how the Pichu that he met saved them in the summer camp from also Team Rocket. And don't forget that Go doesn't know who Miyamoto is, and Jessie doesn't know that Go knew her mother. So yeah, and after saving the Pikachu from Team Rocket, the leader, the Pecha Berry leader, the one that gave Ash's Pikachu a light ball, the Light of Evolution, there's your plug. She'll become a Raichu and join Go's team, and this Raichu knows Volt Tackle, because she gave the light ball, so this Raichu learns Volt Tackle. You want Volt Tackle to return? Goes Raichu. You're welcome. Episode 34 will continue to be in Kanto, where Koharu will take the boys to the Pewter Museum of Science for them to learn more about fossils, but this is mostly an excuse for Koharu to have Go return to the realm of research instead of just going to the field work to be endangered from Team Rocket and everything in the world. Basically, Koharu trying to recluse Go, basically making him go into his bubble once again because she doesn't want her friend to be endangered. But after a talk and after the incident with the Aerodactyl, he will capture Aerodactyl to save Koharu. She will open up more to basically Go's approach on the world, because Go is being very Ash-like nowadays and she's liking that more in regards to his character. Maybe she and Ash will connect more in regards to how they both see Go in a newer light. And the episode after, it's basically Go going, basically trying, because he sees Koharu's worries, Ash telling him about Koharu's worries. Go will decide to go to the school to take his tests in school. He can do the tests in the research institute, in the laboratory, but he'll decide to go to school one day to basically, you know, it's a traveling break. Ash is training his Pokemon. I caught mine, I trained mine, I deserve a break. I will help Koharu as well at school. And Ash will realize that Pikachu's quick attack while training with Yamper and Riolu, yes, because Yamper will also want to train because Pikachu and Riolu train, so Pikachu's an electric type, Riolu it's a puppy, Yamper it's an electric puppy, so he wants to benefit from both of them. And with the Light Ball and training with Yamper and Riolu, Ash will realize that Pikachu's quick attack is becoming faster and faster by each passing day. But the focus of the episode, it's actually, you know, the Eevee from the Evolution Institute and Laboratory that doesn't evolve because she's hesitant, and she will become Koharu's Eevee in the end of the episode, like in the original one, the 49th, but this will be in 35. And therefore, Koharu will get a Rotom phone and therefore become an official Pokemon trainer, traveling with the kids. Yeah, Koharu travels in episode 35, and continuing with travel, we go to Galar, but this time not to Motostoke or to Winden, we go to Wedgehurst, because the trio will visit Magnolia Laboratories in Galar. They will learn about the Dynamax Pokemon even more because of everything that Rose is doing in the sidelines, but the kids and no one in Galar knows of it yet. Ash and Go will meet Sonia, and Sonia basically will see Koharu's Yamper because Yamper will travel with Koharu, and basically because Sakuragi knows Magnolia, Yamper will recognize Sonia, because I want to basically headcanon the fact, and headcanon, basically canonize, that Yamper is as strong as he is, because before being Koharu's, he was once Sonia's Pokemon. So Yamper being happy with the former trainer and the new trainer alike. But this moment, sadly, it's short-lived because Team Rocket appears, wants to steal Dynamax information, because Giovanni asked them to, because Giovanni wants to give Dynamax information for Rose, because they know each other, you know, the boss with the Persian and the boss with the Berserker, right? You know, basically businessmen trying to help each other out. And because of this, because they live in Wedgehurst and there's a lake in Wedgehurst, I want for, because Jesse always has one Pokemon extra instead of James, because of Wobbuffet. Jesse will have Wobbuffet and Silicobra, James already has the Chutel, and I want for James to, you know, actually have the Cramorant. However, this episode, because of every attacks and Go wanting to protect everyone from Team Rocket once again, Meowth, it will interfere in the Dynamax spot, and Meowth will Gigantamax, and Pikachu will enter a power spot as well, but Pikachu knows that Dynamaxing for him will not be good, so he tries to leave the way, but Eevee will double kick Pikachu away, and we will see Gigantamax Eevee against Gigantamax Meowth, and this is basically Koharu's first official trainer battle where she defeats Team Rocket and everything is fine and good, and this is how episode 36 ends. And episode 37, it begins, you know, with Ash and Go still in Wedgehurst. They are training, Koharu is learning from them and befriending Sonia and Magnolia even more. They will meet Leon, and Leon will basically introduce Hop to the group. Basically Leon wants to give a Galar starter to Hop. Hop basically sees Ghost Reboot and Sobble, and basically for a moment Hop thinks, oh, but I thought that I would need a Score Bunny. And there's a Grookey in the woods, but Grookey will end up being Go because he sees more dynamic with Go, so Go gets all the 3 starters, and Hop is like, no worries, I already had Wooloo. My brother just wanted to give me a Galar starter because it's basically tradition, but I love Wooloo, so I'm going to continue to train Wooloo, and I will make Wooloo my starter. So I want for Hop to have this dynamic between, you know, Ash and Go, being a rival for both, like how Nando was for Ash and Dawn and Diamond and Pearl, because Hop wants to defeat Leon like Ash, but he wants to become a researcher as well, like Sonya, and he has a ton of Pokemon in the games, so like Go. But yeah, Hop will be introduced here, and Go and Koharu will get their own Dynamax bands, so the all trio has the Dynamax bands, and Hop will battle Ash for a World Championships battle, and Riolu will be the one to defeat Wooloo. Therefore, Ash will rank up to the Super class, and Hop will want to train more. Therefore, Hop will go to the Isle of Armor to train with Mustard on Leon's words, and that's why Hop will not be in the Darkest Day, because he's in the Isle of Armor training with Mustard. So basically shafting Hop to the side, but actually introducing his character, and with that we get Hop with Wooloo, and Go already has all of the 3 Galarian starters, with Grookey, Sobble, and the evolved Scorbunny now being Reboot. And now returning to Johto in episode 38, after being very cocky, Riolu wishes to battle more, and because the fighting dojo of Kanto is closed for the minute, Ash will go to Johto to Cyanwood because he wants to battle Chuck, to give Riolu and Farfetch a good battle for them to, you know, practice. And Cyanwood, being Tokyo's hometown, Go will meet with Tokyo, they will have, you know, a little talk, and Chuck will basically give Go and Tokyo a Hitmonchan and a Hitmonlee. So yeah. And then the battle continues. Ash will battle with me. Farfetch will win, but it will not be against the Holucha, it will be against the Phalanx. Basically, you know, using Night Slash and Fury Cutter to separate and conquer the Phalanx units. Farfetch will win, but then Graplocked will defeat Farfetch. Farfetch will want to continue, but then with Octolock, Ash wants to retreat Farfetch, but Octolock prevents a recalling from the Pokemon. Farfetch gets defeated. Riolu wants to avenge Farfetch in some capacity, but he does. It's the way that they are seeing it, but Riolu's mind, he just wants to, you know, battle Graplocked. And this is where Chuck sees Riolu, and he will tell Go and Tokyo what he's seeing in regards to Riolu. So yeah, because Riolu basically, he wants to battle for his own sake, not for the sake of others. Riolu just wants attention. He saw potential in Ash with Aura, he's feeling neglected, and even though this is Champion Ash and he has a different method of training than what he did back in the day with all of the baby Pokemon, Ash loves Riolu. But Riolu doesn't love him back because Riolu is a baby, he doesn't understand the world. And Riolu seeing, you know, all of these powerhouses, all of these fully evolved Pokemon, and even Farfetch doing more than he can do without fighting types, even if it's a fighting Pokemon, it gives Riolu a little sense of self-doubt. Therefore, how can Riolu love others back if he cannot love himself? And that's the whole point why Riolu hasn't evolved yet. Because every time he battles, he can win, but now with losses, the friendship level will continue to decrease. So Riolu will need to learn how to love himself more for who he is and not by the expectation of being something that he's not, so that true evolution can occur and matter. And basically he can still have the rivalry with Reboot, he can still train with the other Pokemon, but Riolu will need to, you know, grow up from the baby phase, and like how all humans grow from baby to child to teen to adult, basically understanding who they are as individuals and therefore loving themselves for who they are, so that true friendship can be reciprocated for Ash, and therefore Riolu in the Darkest Day finally becoming a Lucario after having this realization. Wow, I actually gave Riolu a character, goddamn! But yeah, B defeats Ash and Ash ranks down to normal class once again, and he gets depressed. Going to episode 39, where Go and Koharu will see Ash depressed after the loss with B, and basically Go and Koharu will want for Ash to cheer up, and they will basically tell Sakuragi to get tickets to Alola, for Ash to see Kukui, to meet Lei, to have a deep talk with Kukui about the World Championship, and like, you're a champion of Alola, our first ever champion. You are not representing the region, you are representing yourself. Manalo, sharing is caring. Don't be the best champion there is, because you're the one and only in this region, but just be the best Ash, the best self that you can be. I want for a great father and son moment again with Kukui and Ash. And Go and Koharu meeting Ash's Pokemon in Alola, because Koharu will go to Alola. It will be just wholesome. Even Ash's teams can help each other, because Riolu can train with Lycanroc since they are both dogs. Dragonite, being a flying type, it can train with Rowlet. We can see Melmetal helping Farfetch, basically training his swings with the leak. And we can see, Incineroar actually training with Gengar, because they are very, nefarious Pokemons in terms of their type, but they are kind-hearted when it comes to the actual personality and characterization of this Pokemon. So it's a good blend between, the Journeys team and the actual Alola team. So the regional champion and the soon-to-be world champion, and Ash realizing in this moment that if he aims to be the world champion, he cannot just depend on the new team, the newbies, actually having to depend on the veterans. So to regain the super class, you will actually have to call several of his Pokemon from Oak to help each other in the aim for the super class once again, and therefore the goal to Leon. And with that, Ash reassures his newfound dream. In the episode after, episode 40, Go and Koharu, they will meet Ash's classmates. Koharu's Eevee and Lana's Eevee, they will be best friends, of course. Yamper and Togedamaru, they will be best friends as well. Go will capture a Bruxish, and also an Executor. Grookey will simp over Serena like how Rowlet did. Sobble will be best friends with Primarina, but of course that one of the great interactions, it will be Rotom Dex, because Rotom Dex went to Kanto, he saw every Pokemon besides Mew. So, and the Rotom Dex likes movies like how Go does, so Go and Rotom Dex, they will have an interesting dynamic. Maybe Rotom Dex can inspire Go and Koharu to see Detective Lucky, and basically Go and Koharu and Wigsy will be amazing. And the Go goes to the Treasure Island, thus basically merges the Mantike with the Remoraid, then basically Mantine serves on his own Mantine, like we saw in the Journeys poster. RIP. But the actual thing of this episode, because Alola fell short in the return, it should have been a dual parter, one specified for Ash and one for Ash's companions, being Go and Koharu, and the end battle, it would be Kiawe making sure that Ash is in safe hands with Go. And it's basically a double battle between Raboot and Cubone against Tortunator and Alolan Marowak. Yes, Cubone and Alolan Marowak need to face each other off, and after the power of the Z move, instead of being saved by Marowak, because Marowak is actually battling, the one that protects Go, it will be Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele will go to the island of Tapu Koko, and it will bestow upon Go a Psychium Z. So, and because Go caught the Bruxish, his first Psychic Pokemon in Alola, because of the Light Trio, so yeah, Tapu Lele will go to Alola, it will give Go Psychium Z, that in some point in the future it will become Immunium Z and Shattered Psyche will converge into Genesis Supernova. That's what I want. There are great potential that Journeys needs to tap right off the bat in Season 1, and I'm glad I actually did this in the rewrite, okay? And now that the 5 segments of 8 episodes are done, episode 1 to 40, they are all done. It's time to actually, you know, talk about the great season closure that it is the Darkest Day arc. So, because we don't have the Marshtomp filler, the Darkest Day arc, it will be like the Team Flare finale and be 5 episodes like it should have. Introduction, Rising Action, Climax, Falling Action, and Resolution. And there will be some different things. For example, the Pokemon that Go will capture because of the stolen scone, it will not be a Bunnelby, it will be a Rookie D. I want to make sure that Go doesn't have Pokemon that Ash or Ash's companions had to not having repeats, you know, and basically they will get separated. There will be more to cover. Team Rocket will not be here shoehorned because of Meowth, you know, because Meowth already had his time to shine as a Gigantamax Pokemon. They will be here, but not in a ways of interrupting, because I actually want to see Gigantamax Pikachu against Gigantamax Meowth, you know, the cat and the rat. But they will, that's why the 5th episode it's needed, because it will feel organic and therefore not shoehorned. Because then again, Giovanni knows Rose, so that's why Team Rocket is here to help Rose in their behalf. So yeah, there will be a lot of things in this arc that's going to change, you know, like the episode will continue the same. But because, you know, of the Darkest Day and Pikachu Gigantamaxing, the Max Strike, it's going to become more powerful because of the power of the Light Ball. Pikachu will realize, and also Ash will realize, that Quick Attack, because of the Light Ball, basically Quick Attack evolved into Extreme Speed. So Pikachu lost usage of power, but it's faster and also more powerful. So yeah, Pikachu has Extreme Speed now, after God knows how when. And then of course, in the mural of Stow Inside, Reboot will battle, you know, the Leovani, you know, the fake Giovanni, it's the Leovani. But this dude will have the 4 Pokemon that are Oleanas instead of her ace, being G-Max Garbodor. So basically, because of the power spot, Go's Reboot will Dynamax and battling 4 Dynamax Pokemon in a row. It will basically be like a max raid, but Reboot it's the boss, and the boss defeats everyone, you know. Basically Reboot with 3 max flares defeats 4 Dynamax Pokemon, okay? So yeah, and yeah, when they will go to Hammerlock, Reboot will tell Go, because, well, Grookey and Sobble will be there, but not in much of a bigger role, but they will help Reboot. Reboot will basically, you know, in his way telling Go that when he Dynamaxes he becomes slower. It's basically like with Pikachu and Ash. They are given size, they are given weight, so their movements are not as finesse as they could. So they need to work around this. And then when go to Hammerlock, Oleana will Gigantamax her Garbodor. There will be no Reboot against Milotic. It will basically be Garbodor blocking the way to the energy power plant of Hammerlock. And Reboot, without actually Dynamaxing, Reboot will basically, you know, use the Draco Meteor climb. He will climb around the trash toys of Garbodor, and then basically, you know, use his unique Ember to defeat Gigantamax Garbodor the way he did with Flygon. So Reboot will evolve into a Cinderace by defeating a Gigantamax Pokemon. And it will be its own time to shine. And of course, speaking of time to shines, Pikachu, because Pikachu will be, you know, trying to make sure that Gigantamax Meowth doesn't cause issues in Hammerlock. Pikachu will basically get sidetracked, but to make sure that the civilians of Hammerlock are okay and Meowth doesn't destroy the city more. And while Macrocosmos are basically battling, you know, are battling Raihan and Sonia, and Leon is trying to defeat Eternatus. Everyone in Kanto is worried. Sakuragi, Koharu, Renji, Kikuna, Sota, Yoshino, Ikue, Kurune. So everyone is worried for even Oak and Delia, of course, and everyone is worried for Ash and Ghost's safety and Galar, because the world is connected. They are traveling the world, so they need to make sure that the world is connected. They have Rotom phones, and Rotom phones, because of Rotom decks, now they have more self-agency. So they can basically call for help when needed and inform people what it's actually happening, you know. And yeah, while Pikachu is basically busy with Gigantamax Meowth and Team Rocket, Dragonite and Gengar, they will be the ones to battle Ferrothorn and Excavalier, because that's the thing. For example, Excavalier is very fast, but he cannot touch Gengar because of the Ghost intangibility. Ferrothorn, it's bulky, but it cannot reach Dragonite. Dragonite is very powerful, but every time it beats Ferrothorn because of Iron Barbs, it will hurt themselves more. So it will be basically 5D chess in terms of dual battles between Ash and Charmin Rose. And after these Pokemon are done, Berserker and Copperajah are the ones to be called afterwards. So Ash basically has a 4v4 against Rose, and Farfetch and Riolu are the ones to, you know, battle, like 2 steel types battling 2 fighting types. And after everything is said and done, Eternatus Eternabeam basically disclosures everything, and Farfetch basically sacrificing quote unquote, using the leak to protect Riolu, and gets bashed into a wall with Ash, and Riolu basically accepting the friendship of Ash and everyone, and before the darkest day becomes, he will basically use the last power of sunlight to protect Ash and everyone, like, you know, the Spider-Man moment, where against Berserker and Copperajah he will become a Lucario. He will become one with Steel that he is now defeating and using Aura Sphere, therefore Riolu will have their time to shine as well. And Ash and Go reunite. Everything happens the same. Because of the 5th episode, there is more time for Zacian and Zamazenta to show up. So yeah, all of the Pokemon are down for the counting. Even Pikachu is exhausted. Pikachu is exhausted. Cinderace and Lucario are barely hanging in there, but Zacian and Zamazenta, they help, and they have a raid battle against Eternatus. And Rose? He's gone. We don't know where he is. Same for Aliana. Macrocosmos is no more. So yeah, Leon is okay, Sonya is okay, Ryan is okay. The gym leaders in their own towns are making sure that the Gigantamax Pokemon don't destroy. Like, we basically will see snippets of gym leaders in their hometowns saving their Pokemon. Even Hop in the Isle of Armor will see this calamity ensue. And maybe we'll get a snippet of Mustard as well, basically seeing, oh Leon, what the hell are you doing, man? But Ash and Go will capture Eternatus together, and the world will be saved. And Koharu is not here because she's basically, you know, trying to train Yamper and Eevee. And well, she already had her moment in Galar. She wants to, you know, basically do half research, half school. She's still trying to see what it is. And after everything, she will have a great talk with Go about in Season 2, because, man, you went to Galar to save the world. I told you, no more heroisms. I don't want to lose you, man. So, yeah, guys, this is my rewrite for the Season 1 of Pokemon Journeys. The gacha, it's Delibird more for Butch and Cassidy when they show up, even if minimal. Team Rocket has a team to bond with, you know, Jesse has Wobbuffet and Silicobra, James has the Cramorant and also the Chewtle. Ash's team remains the same. Koharu gets her Eevee and becomes a trainer earlier on. Go gets the Grookey. Hop is introduced, the gym leaders are introduced, so the pacing and the storytelling, I think it feels better. And look at Go's Pokemon. 45 episodes, and Go has 40 Pokemon. But in terms of species, he had 50, so it's a great balance and all of this colorful cast of characters. The kid is going far. I mean, look at this team. Look at this amazing team that he got, you know, quality over quantity. And the structure of the anime being linear instead of episodic, even with episodes, it worked. They just need to, you know, before writing, like I do, actually having a plan and a great story to tell, and having all of these elements mixed together in the best way possible. Again, just because the structure is episodic, it doesn't mean that they cannot have a linear storytelling. They have the puzzle pieces, they just have to fit them together and make sure that they belong where they belong. So yeah, folks, this was my rewrite for Season 1 of Pokemon Journeys, the series anime. I hope you all liked. Make sure to let your ideas and in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the video. See the problem with journeys that I did, I'm going to leave in the comments below as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of the patience that you had for watching this video. I swear, you guys make me want to actually write. So without further ado, thank you, trainers, and don't forget to capture them all. Pokemon 25 years, it all comes together.